Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today I have something very exciting for you all. It's time to reveal the winners for my Wings of Fire hybrid contest. And before we can even start, I have to applaud all of you who entered. I received almost 600 designs, which is more responses than I've ever gotten for a contest before. I am so proud of you guys, and looking at each submission and everything you guys had to say about your characters was one of the most fun experiences I've had in a long time. And while I wish I could show every single one of them, it's unfortunately not possible due to just how many designs you guys submit each contest. However, in this video, I'll be showing off my top 21, plus some extra entries I wanted to highlight, so you'll see. But before we begin, a huge shout out to my patrons. 𝙈𝙤𝙁𝙁𝙍, Slightest Wild, Thistle, Noobto, Pyronuke, Avril, and Pancake. Thank you all so much for supporting me. Links to their social medias are in the description down below. Anyways, without further ado, let's get into the video. This contest was different from any other one that I've hosted. What made it special was the unique challenge presented here. Participants were supposed to design a hybrid, but not just from tribes of their choosing. Instead, they were tasked to put every dragon type into a wheel and spin twice. The two tribes they got were the ones they had to make a hybrid out of. I saw a ton of dragons I've never spotted before in my life, and it was so much fun to see all the creativity you guys had here. As always with my design contests, this is judged purely based on my thoughts on the design itself and not art experience. And before we get into our top 21, there are two submissions I wanted to highlight for you guys. While these didn't end up placing on the list, I absolutely loved the creativity involved in their creations, and I just couldn't resist showing them off to you guys. And so, I have two honorable mentions to start things off with. These entries really caught my eye due to the special art forms used. Starting off with the first, we have this outstanding creation made by Moonseed14. It took them days to make this adorable felt version of their dragon, the Savannah the Sandsea hybrid. The amount of detail put into this is amazing, and the felt edition just looked so soft and cute. Genuinely such an awesome job, Moonseed14. Another unique creative entry was this crocheted piece by Marshmallow is My Cat. Look at how cute! I just want to give the dragon a hug. This is their Mud Ice hybrid, who turned out beautifully in such an underrated art form. I love what you did with this, and it would be criminal not to give it an appearance in the final video. With the honorable mentions out of the way, it's time to get into our top 21, because I always have to end up showing off way more than I announce. Y'all are just too good at this. Coming in at 21st place, we have this stunning Ice Silk hybrid made by Random Mushroom. 𝙤𝙤𝙁𝙁𝙁's design and name are based off the blue underwing moth. There's a ton of jewelry on them in order to give off a mysterious and creepy look compared to other dragons, as stated by the artist. Random Mushroom perfectly incorporated a mix of Icewing and Silkwing traits here. You can see spikes, but also moth-like wings. 𝙤𝙤𝙁𝙁 is pretty cartoonishly evil and power-hungry. They're very quiet, mostly because they have no need to say anything. When talking to people, he is well-spoken and polite, but never reveals much about himself. 𝙤𝙤𝙁𝙁's mother was an Icewing noble with animist descent, and his father was Silkwing, who is a citizen in the Leaf Silk Kingdom. 𝙤𝙤𝙁 was born with animist magic and kept it a secret his whole life. With animist magic, pretty much any obstacle can be passed easily, so with the help of his magic, he was elected to the Silkwing Assembly. They want power but not attention, so they sit on the sidelines and use animist magic to control the other members' minds so that they can get what they want. Just outside of this sounding like a fantastic and interesting character, I adore the way the tribes mix in the way I described earlier. The clothing adds so much to 𝙤𝙤𝙁's style, goals, and worldview. The colors are exactly what I would see in a dragon that's a hybrid of both these tribes. Even the veil is full of storytelling of its own. I adore everything about 𝙤𝙤𝙁's design, and couldn't help but marvel at it when this entry was submitted. Very well done. In 20th place, we have Mickey Moo's entry. Impala is a Sandwing Silkwing hybrid. She's the daughter of a salmoning merchant and a silking artisan, and grew up traveling around the outskirts of the Sand Kingdom. She has a deep appreciation for the arts thanks to her father, a silkwing, who is relatively well known for creating small but highly detailed tapestries. While she can't produce silk herself, Impala is very easy to work with and loves making deals with dragons. Oh my goodness, I cannot get over how cute her design is. I can absolutely see her hybrid traits so well. The black scales going up her legs and snout are my absolute favorite part of the design. The colors here are gorgeous and unlike anything I've ever seen. This is just a great submission all around, and one I knew I couldn't get by without sharing. Fox Collects Rocks, our 19th place winner, created Robin. She's a night sky hybrid. Robin is a bit goofy and energetic, and isn't a good fighter. She enjoys flying in the night sky and snacking on bats, and gets a suspicious amount of déjà vu. Robin just looks marvelous. This was one of the earliest entered designs, and I fell in love with her the moment I saw this character. The mixing of the scale colors just blew me away, and the sparkles on the wings and body were a wonderful touch. The faded shades on the wings are to die for, and I'm so obsessed with this dragon. Fox Collects Rocks, you outdid yourself here, and I'd love to learn more about your character. Flying in at 18th place, we have this design by TigerTales14. This dragon's name is Sunseeker. He's a Skywing Nightwing hybrid who currently resides in Pantala. Sunseeker was the first animus Skywing in 3,000 years, but he keeps his powers a secret. When two guards came to his family's door, his sister told them she was the animus and to take her instead. Sunseeker never figured out what happened to her, but he escaped to Pantala and now lives a happy life sharing his magic. Not only is this story so interesting, I'd love to read about it, but Sunseeker's design is beautiful. The mix of orange and tan shades just came out so perfectly here. I love Sun's green eyes, and they stand out against the color of his scales. Even the horn ring and earring he has look fantastic! I fell in love with this design, and I knew I had to feature Sunseeker here in this contest. Amazing name, too! In 17th, we have Storm's entry. Meet Fruitbat the Rain Knight hybrid. He's charming and charismatic, but really insecure on the inside. As a dragonette, he was made fun of for his teeth and for not being able to change his scales. He decided to run away and met an albino mudwing named Aloe. They were both rejected from their tribe, so they traveled together. They picked up other hybrids and odd-looking dragons and formed a circus. He is a clown and ringmaster. Fruitbat discovered how to make face paint and used it to distract from his teeth. He eventually found out that he could change the white dot under his wings, and he uses this ability to make shapes and patterns to dazzle audiences. Clown dragons have some of my favorite designs, and I just love how Fruitbat looks. The white paint genuinely stands out so much, and it's the perfect contrast to his dark scales. The bow tie, the colors, the fangs, the sparkles, everything. I can't even begin to get into just how phenomenal this design is. Rain Knight hybrids in general look awesome, and Fruitbat truly does stand out amongst other dragons with this same tribe combination. And his story is just captivating, and yet another one I'd love to see more of someday. In 16th place is Newtspring's submission. Here's Forest Fire. He is a Fire Scales Leaf Sky hybrid dragon. Forest Fire was born in the woods of the Leafing tribe, but due to him being a Fire Scales, he was shunned out by his family and all the other dragons in the forest. One day, Forest Fire accidentally bumped into a tree, causing it to go up in flames. He was viciously attacked by a Leafwing who saw this, but managed to escape her grasp. Along the lonely path he was now walking while traveling the continent, Forest Fire met an exiled Rainwing. She was a clever dragon who manipulated him, telling him that he should harness the power he was born with. She saw an opportunity in Forest Fire to destroy the ones who had banished her and ruin the rainforest forever. Again, you guys have knocked it out of the park with your OC lore. That wasn't even part of the contest, and yet I was still obsessed with everything I saw in that department. But holy cow, my jaw dropped when I saw Forest Fire's design. A Skyleaf hybrid with fire scales? Yeah, that definitely doesn't mix, and his appearance shows that. This is just such an epic shot with a lot of work and talent put into it. The way he reflects the colors of autumns and flames on his scales is beyond cool. Everything about Forest Fire feels so alive and ferocious after he was manipulated, and this design is spectacular beyond belief. Well done. I'm genuinely shocked by this concept and the design execution. Tui needs to take notes for characters here, because this should become canon. And now, it's time to get into our top 15. Next up is 𝙈𝙤𝙁𝙁𝙍's awesome character design entry. Meet 𝙂𝙉𝙁𝙁𝙁. He's a researcher who specializes in animals that live in high altitudes, like mountain peaks and frozen tundra. His mother is a dark red skywing who is often mistaken for a nightwing due to how dark her scales are. Her son, Gale, has adopted the darker colors from his mother. He loves traveling to the Ice Kingdom with his father, who works at a research station there. While he's able to withstand the sub-zero temperatures, Gale likes to wear the scarf his mother made for him. The colors you picked for Gale's design are perfect. I love the idea of a part skywing with darker scales. The way the various shades of silver blend into the black is just gorgeous. I'm in love with the concept she made for his story, and the design is outstanding. The freckles are so cute too, and I just love everything about this. And the adorable scarf and the wings. I can't get enough of this design, truly. You did a fantastic job, 𝙈𝙤𝙁𝙁𝙁. Next up is our 14th place winner, Never Canterbury. The dragon they submitted is named Jade, and she's a mud-ice hybrid. Man, I just love this type. Jade is a curious dragon, and is the big wings of a group of small fellow ice-mud hybrids. Her younger sisters are, in age order, Alpine, Rock, Spring, and Agate. Alpine, Rock, and Spring died in the War of Standing Succession, as they often had difficulty hiding in the mud and were occasionally mistaken for ice wings in the fray of battle. The Mudwing tribe didn't mean to wipe them out, as they considered the icy siblings a secret weapon of sorts, or at least a way to train for fighting ice wings. Alpine had frost breath, but none of the other girls had any breath weapons, because they're always too cold to use fire. The Mudwing tribe hid them from Burn whenever she came by, because they didn't want to hand over the hybrid sibs. These days, Jade and Agate live in Sanctuary and study other cultures. Family submissions were a ton of fun to look through during this contest, and man, is Jade's design especially phenomenal. I've literally never seen somebody make a mud hybrid this way, and I'm in love with it. The frosty look as it transitions to brown scales is such eye candy, and truly captures your attention. Jade's wings and patterns are to die for, and their siblings look great as well. This piece is so cute and sad in general, and I really like the vision of the story. Amazing, amazing job! This was one I always knew I had to include. In 13th place, we have Varno Sapnai, who made this gorgeous sea silk hybrid dragon. I can see the elements and traits of both tribes perfectly. This submission had my jaw on the floor when it got sent in. Rose lives on the beach beside the Sea Kingdom with her mom, who's a sea wing. Rose can't really swim because of her wings, but she's still fascinated by the ocean. Her favorite things in the world are the plants she takes care of. While Rose is a pretty shy and introverted dragon, she does have some close friends. I'm literally about to be glazing this design, bro. The little patches of moss and flowers on her scales? Hello? This is simply incredible. Green was the perfect general color for Rose, as there are green sea wings and green silk wings. They have the wings of the ladder, but the body shape is the frill of sea wings. Even the details of the butterflies around her are so cute. This is magnificent, just magnificent. I love the little bits of clothing Rose has as well, and she looks stunningly beautiful. This design was beyond worthy of making an appearance in the results video. Flying in at 12th, we have Maya X. They created Crescent, an awesome Night Rain hybrid. Crescent is the daughter of the Nightwing guard named Shadowseer and a Rainwing named Tangerine. Tangerine was a prisoner of the Nightwings for around a month before Shadowseer aided her escape, making him a traitor to his tribe. Since the rainforest was too close to the Nightwing Kingdom, Tangerine and Shadowseer fled to the edge of the Ice Kingdom, where they raised Crescent with a quiet and peaceful childhood. Crescent was named after the crescent moon markings on her face. She was born under 2 full moons, meaning she should have one of the original Nightwing abilities, but due to her rainwing genetics, she gained the power to read emotions instead of minds. Empaths are awesome. Crescent can change all of her scale colors except for the dark, galaxy scale she got from her father's Nightwing side, meaning that she can never go fully invisible like other rainwings. Again, you guys are just eating up these OC stories. But oh my goodness, is Crescent's design just mind-blowing? Do you guys see how gorgeous the patterns and details are in here? Like, there are patches of the literal galaxy on her scales, and that's just one of the coolest things ever. I love the way certain colors fade, and the markings she has are just indescribably beautiful. The pouches and crystals she wears add even more to her look. Maya, this is something you need to be proud of. This might be one of my favorite Wings of Fire designs ever. What a creative way to combine both tribes she's from. In 11th, there's 𝙈𝙤𝙍𝙁𝙁, who made these 4 fantastic dragons in their submission. In order of appearance, there's 𝙈𝙤, a rain-sand hybrid, Tramp, a sea mud, Princess Lichen, leaf sea, and Ember, a night sky hybrid. 𝙈𝙤 is a sweet, timid dragon. She lives in Pantala currently after the events of the Flames of Hope. Since the revolution, hybrids have been more accepted and appreciated in society, so 𝙈𝙤 jumped at the chance to travel the continent. She has always loved the delicate jewelry and finding lives, and now works as a metalsmith and model in her free time. She's liked by most dragons, but often ends up being pushed over. Tramp is a big, adventurous dragon. He loves exploring anywhere he goes, usually causing a ruckus. He's not super socially aware, so he is well known to be loud and cheerful. He started a few summer camps for curious dragonettes like him, and they all love Tramp and his enthusiasm. He is normally seen with 1 or 2 students following in his wake. Princess Lichen is a sassy, narcissistic dragon. She's a distant relative to royalty, so she is a self-proclaimed princess, and has no trouble acting like it. She's oddly obsessed with frogs, and has all of her jewelry, courtesy of 𝙈𝙤, hinting at her love for them. Most dragons dislike Lichen, but she doesn't care about most things. She secretly has a soft side for her friends, who immediately accepted her as one of their own. Ember is a quiet, reserved dragon. He was burned horribly by his mother when he was young, giving him permanent damage, including blindness, and burn scars across his neck, back, and wings. He constantly wears bandages with salve to soothe his joints and scales. He was outcast by most until he met the hybrids, who heard his entire story and took him in immediately. He now works as a seer, using his Nightwing abilities in the cities of Pantala. Oh boy, I've just fallen in love with this group. I love found families, and these dragon hybrids are no exception. Going in order here, 𝙈𝙤's colors are beautiful, oh my gosh! I love her eyes and jewelry and everything on her scales. Tramp's looks absolutely fit his personality, and I am just obsessed. His accessories bring so much life and character to the dragon, and the color choices are amazing. Everything about Lichen perfectly mirrors the tribe she's from, and I love it. She's adorned in such beautiful jewels, and again, the color choices are insanely good. And Ember's design is one of the many that takes the cake here. He's so creatively made, and I just love everything about how he looks and how it ties into his backstory. 𝙈𝙁𝙍𝙁, I couldn't imagine anything cooler for these guys. You have true talent, dude. And now, it's time for our top 10. I couldn't even imagine how it could get cooler from here. Cornflakes designed 𝙈𝙀𝙁𝙁, the sea silk hybrid. He's a jittery, nervous wreck, whose silkwing ability of weather prediction is extremely oversensitive, causing him to over-prepare for every tiny little storm. They are a strong swimmer and flyer due to their strange wings. Despite having 4 like a silkwing, they aren't the butterfly shape they should be, thanks to 𝙈𝙀𝙁𝙁's sea wing half. 𝙈𝙀𝙁 makes trips between the 2 continents frequently, and despite the fact they could live on either, she prefers to camp on the islands between them, feeling more comfortable alone. They are incredibly mesmerized by Seawing's glowing scales, be it the blue raindrop-shaped ones on themselves, or the ones on other Seawings. Occasionally on stormy nights, 𝙈𝙀𝙁 will light up their scales and patterns to help calm themselves down. 𝙈𝙀𝙁 has such pretty colors that reflect him being a sea silk hybrid so well. The patterns on its scales genuinely have me awestruck, especially everything on the wings. And the little goggles, I love them so much. I can just see their personality in the design so much. And this OC stands out for sure. You ate this up, cornflakes. What an awesome design, truly. In ninth is Kayumi, the creator of this fantastic character. Stingray is a sea sand hybrid. He lives in a small village nestled between the peaks of the Claws of the Clouds Mountains. The village was once home to Nightwings as they fled from the kingdom in fear of Darkstalker. Now their ancestors live secluded from the rest of Pyria, along with many dragons from other tribes. Stingray is one of these many hybrids, though he's the only one who's part Sea-Wing. His mother had arrived alone with an egg, saying she fled from the War of Sandwing Secession. Bree's tailbarb has a weaker venom than a true Sandwings would, having a paralyzing effect rather than a deadly one. He cannot control the brightness of his bioluminescent scales. Stingray is blind in his left eye because of his iris being partly bioluminescent. Stingray is also training to be a healer, which he loves. It's one of the only things that calms him down in a world of annoying dragonets. He keeps himself busy sorting or picking herbs, reading scrolls, or cleaning. He's sometimes seen as being rude or disrespectful, and while it's true that he can be bad-tempered, he really has nothing but respect to his home and his people. He just can't seem to express that respect like he wants to. This is such a specific thing to talk about, but I love the frill that goes down Stingray's face. It gives him so much personality, and don't even get me started on the color choices. Man, everything here is beyond perfect, and Kayumi really outdid themselves. The patches of bioluminescence truly make Ray stand out apart from most dragons. I love his wings on the design. I'm obsessed with this character all around, and I literally could not resist putting him here in our top 10. Heading in at 8th place, we have this design by Snowcone the Icewing. I'm a huge lover of ice wings with pink on them, so I immediately got really happy when I first saw this. Cumulus is a Sky Ice hybrid. He's very serious, helpful, caring, and competitive. His father, Boreal of the Icewings, met his mother, Peak, of the Skywings, during a battle between Blaze and Burn's forces. They fell in love very fast and settled down in possibility and had him. Cumulus helps out his parents' family-run restaurant and takes care of neighborhood dragonets in his free time. This is a perfect picture of what I imagine some Sky Ice dragons looking like. The shades of each color are so pretty, and I can see Cumulus's personality mirrored amazingly in its design. His wings are stunning, and his tail is eye-grabbing with the multicolored scales. I'm a massive fan of how his entry turned out, and I could talk about it for hours. Just so cool. In 7th, we have Lunastorms. They submitted 3 flawless designs, but I'm mostly going to focus on my absolute favorite here, Nightshades. As you may guess, this is a Night Leaf hybrid. She was born with strong leaf speak, weak prophecy powers, and empath abilities. Cacti, featured here, has used animus magic to strengthen her prophecy and mind reading. She made shelter from brambles and thorns, sold rare plants, and worked as a fortune teller, manipulating people with her empath abilities. However, these upgraded powers come with a cost. A rogue anima interfered with Cacti's spell and caused her to lose parts of herself, metaphorically and literally, from exerting her powers to a certain point. Nightshade also harvests plants to use as poisons. This genuinely might be one of the most gorgeous designs I have ever seen, and this reference sheet, oh my goodness, is it so pretty! I've never seen somebody make a Leaf Knight hybrid like this before, and I am just obsessed with this. Nightshade's constellation patterns are just the greatest thing ever. She's such an awesome shade of green, and both her eyes and the sparkle in the middle of them are so creative, unique, and special. Every aspect of this design was nailed, and it feels like an honor to get to show it off to you guys, even. And 5th is Hoppy Coco, the creator of this fantastic dragon. Caribou is a Mud Ice hybrid and is an artist. He lives in the southeast part of the Ice Kingdom, right where it nearly meets the Skywing territory. He paints his wings to look like a Silkwing's after he went with Harpy, his friend, on a trip to Pantala. He sells armor and jewelry to the residents of Possibility, and also owns an art gallery there. Caribou is kind and patient, and loves a good laugh. He also often annoys and pranks other dragons for fun. Okay, I'm just a huge sucker for designs that have completely contrasting colors that blend into each other, like on the tail here. The way their tail just transitions from white to silver to the brown of Caribou's body has me tweaking. Just love that design so much. Every little pattern is so detailed, creative, and full of life. The markings are insane everywhere, and I love each and every one of them. Caribou is the perfect mud ice dragon ever. I love this so much. It's seriously one of my favorites in the entire contest. Amazingly done, Hoppy Coco. Be proud of yourself. And now, it's time to get into the designs you've all been waiting for. Our top 5 is up now. Idiot of the group made Pine Tree a Night Rain hybrid. While the Rainwings were being held prisoner, a male Nightwing fell in love with one of the dragons there. Pine Tree was eventually hatched from their relationship. I am a massive lover of split designs. They end up being some of my favorite characters ever. I'm in love with how Pine Tree looks, and her colors are so vibrant on both sides. The wings and the frills also look amazing as well. You can truly see her Nightwing half shine with the beautiful night sky reflected on some of her scales. Pine Tree's design is simply breathtaking. Well done. In 4th place, we have this dragon made by Lightbringer. Pete is a night mud hybrid. Her mother was a roaming merchant with a fascination for Mudwing culture. She believed that by partnering with a Mudwing, his genes would allow for her to have a large klutz, so she could raise her dragonets as an independent sibling unit. However, Shadowteeth only hatched one single dragonet. She was hoping for a talons-off approach to dragonet rearing, and is pretty slack with her daughter, rarely giving her attention. As a wealthy merchant, Shadowteeth raised her daughter with plenty of treasure, so Pete can often be seen prancing around in jewelry. She is completely feral with poor social skills like her mother, and isn't particularly affectionate. She loves hunting, rolling in mud, and being rude to strangers. How beautiful a design is this? Also, it's so awesome that we got a little look at her parents. I love when reference sheets have this, especially for hybrids. It's really cool to see what specific physical traits they got from each dragon. But whoa, my mind was blown when I saw Pete, and it still is every time I look at this picture. This is by far my favorite Mud Knight hybrid of all time. The wings are one of the biggest highlights. The faded colors are perfect pictures of the tribes Pete is from, and the beautiful stars truly take center stage. We even get this pattern and color transition added to the tail, which is the coolest detail ever. Every part of this dragon really pops visually, and there might be some of my favorite shades of brown and green now here. The little freckle patterns, the shining jewelry, everything. This is the greatest. And now, our ultimate top 3. Swooping in at 3rd place is Makibu's creation. Meet Evening. He is a Sky Night hybrid with unusual patterns that make it look like his scales are shifting from night to day. He is mostly very calm and mindful of other dragons, usually trying to understand their way of thinking. Evening is a traveling storyteller and is also trying to tell dragons what hardships most hybrids overcome, since they are not usually accepted in either tribe, hoping that acceptance of hybrids will become higher as a result of his words and experiences. Again, I adore this kind of look for OCs. The transition of black to red looks absolutely sick, and Evening is an amazing character overall. Even his name perfectly suits the tribe mix. The shades of red and gray that make up most of his scales are stunning, and truly this is one of my favorite dragon looks. You can even see black on his wingtips, which is a wonderful detail that just adds even more to Evening's design. I'm very happy with this, and it's one of my favorite submissions for the contest. It looks like Evening is being taken over by Nightwing scales. So cool. In 2nd place is the amazing Sterling Silver. They made this mind-blowing hive knight named Astrolix. Astroa was born into a middle-class society, being raised by his mother and father. He gets his looks mostly from his mother and his colors from his father, but with some long-lost beetling traits, like his weird wings and head crest. For most of his childhood, He was praised and loved for his beauty, and he made some longtime friends that still stick by his side. Over time, though, he realized no one was really seeing him for who he was, and he started to despise getting comments and sometimes snapped at people. This continued to drag on until he met a hive-wing named Kinfly. The two quickly grew into a strong relationship, and 𝙈 was able to open up about his problems. Kin got 𝙈 interested in music, allowing him to live his dream and express himself through drumming. In their story, Kinfly and 𝙈 work together as a couple to take down a hidden conspiracy hundreds of years after the Flames of Hope. Holy cow! First off, Kin and 𝙈's love story is so cute and I ship them. But also, 𝙈, I really hope I've been saying that right, I keep saying it different every time, has the most insane and awesome design ever. Hello? A hive knight is something I just need to see more of in general. The beautiful patches of literal starlight on his scales are phenomenal. Truly remarkable. And 𝙈's purple eyes? Everything about this is just perfect and creative, and I could not be more shocked right now. Like, I literally had to stand up and go, what? When this was submitted. Man, what an insane entry. I'm going to remember this design and character for a long time, and I need to see more of him. Again, this is spectacular. And it is finally time for our first place winner. Please give a massive round of applause to 𝙂𝙉𝙁𝙁. 𝙈 is a sand-sea hybrid, and she lives on the beach bordering the Sea Kingdom and the Sand Kingdom. Her father is a sandwing and lives with her on the beach with her younger brother. Her mother is a noble, and she tries her best to visit them when she's not swamped with work. 𝙈 is about 8 years old, and her father homeschools her and her brother, as he doesn't want her to go out due to the controversy about hybrids in the kingdom. She's rather curious and likes to poke her nose into other people's business, though she's also very empathetic and occasionally a bit stubborn. She has a barbed tail, but it's quite useless, as she can't use it to make venom as deadly as regular sandwings can. 𝙈 also has gills and can hold her breath for about 2 days without much trouble, and 4 if she really strains herself. 𝙈's design is so pretty, I'm literally freaking out right now. The complexity with the patterns just has me in awe. Her scales are literally the colors of the ocean and sand, so a beach environment is perfect, and that fits her name so well. Man, 𝙈's design looks like something professional, a character I'd see in a real published Wings of Fire book. Her face is beautiful with the oceanic look to it. 𝙈 stuns here, and is placed as my absolute favorite entry to the contest. From the moment I saw her, I fell in love. Even just look at the frill! Gosh, I haven't seen a character design this gorgeous and pretty in a long time. A huge congratulations to our winner for knocking it out of the park with this submission. I tip my hat off to you because this only comes from pure talent. And that's our winners! I know this video was insanely long, but you guys did an amazing job all around. I couldn't resist showing more, I'm sorry. Thank you for sticking until the end, and it truly means the world to me. Give a round of applause to our awesome winners, and give yourselves a pat on the back, whether just for supporting the contest, or for being in it. I saw every submission myself, and I can say with confidence that this hybrid wheel contest has had my favorite entries of any event like this I've ever done before. You guys did great, even those who didn't end up getting the time to be featured. Thank you all so much for watching. What are some of your favorite dragons here? Let me know down below, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye!